पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदाहं भक्ति उपार्थम् अस्नामि प्रियतात्मनः. Patra, a leaf. Pushpam, a flower. Phalam, a fruit. Toyam, water. Yada, whoever may unto me, bhaktya, with devotion, prayachati, offers, tat, that, aham, I, bhakti upartham, offered in devotion, asnami, accept, priyata atmana, from one in pure consciousness. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Please respond. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Purport. For the intelligent person, it is essential to be in Krishna consciousness, engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, in order to achieve a permanent blissful abode for eternal happiness. The process of achieving such marvelous result is very easy and can be attempted even by the poorest of the poor, without any kind of qualification. The only qualification required in this connection is to be a pure devotee of the Lord. It does not matter what one is or where one is situated. The process is so easy that even a leaf or little water or fruit can be offered to the Supreme Lord in genuine love, and the Lord will be pleased to accept it. No one therefore can be barred from Krishna consciousness, because it is so easy and universal. Who is such a fool that he does not want to be Krishna conscious by this simple method, and thus attain the highest perfection of eternity, bliss and knowledge? Krishna wants only loving service and nothing more. Krishna accepts even a little flower from his pure devotee. He does not want any kind of offering from a non-devotee. He is not in need of anything from anyone, because he is self-sufficient. Yet, he accepts the offering of his devotee in exchange of love and affection. To develop Krishna consciousness is the highest perfection of life. Bhakti is mentioned twice in this verse, in order to declare more emphatically that bhakti or devotional service is the only means to approach Krishna. No other condition, such as becoming a brahmana, a learned scholar, a very rich man, or a great philosopher, can induce Krishna to accept some offering. Without the basic principle of bhakti, nothing can induce the Lord to agree to accept anything from anyone. Bhakti is never casual. The process is eternal, and it is direct action and service to the absolute whole. Here, Lord Krishna, having established that he is the only enjoyer, the primeval Lord, and the real object of sacrificial offerings, reveals what types of sacrifices he desires to be offered. If one wishes to engage in devotional service to the Supreme in order to be purified and to reach the goal of life, the transcendental living service of God, then one should find out what the Lord desires of him. One who loves Krishna will give him whatever he wants, and he avoids offering anything which is undesirable or unasked. Thus, meat and fish and eggs should not be offered to Krishna. If he desired such thing as offering, he would have said so. Instead, he clearly requires that leaf, fruit, flowers, and water be given to him, and he says that this offering I will accept it. Therefore, we should understand that he will not accept meat, fish, and eggs. Vegetable, grains, fruits, milk, and water are the proper food for human beings and are prescribed by Lord Krishna himself. Whatever else we eat cannot be offered to him, since he will not accept it. Thus, we cannot be acting on the level of living devotion if we offer such food. In the 3rd chapter, verse 13, Sri Krishna explains that only remains of sacrifice are purified and fit for consumption by those who are seeking advancement in life and released from the clutches of material entanglement. Those who do not make an offering of their food, he says in the same verse, are eating only sin. In other words, their every mouthful is simply deepening their involvement in the complexity of material nature. But preparing nice, simple dishes, offering them before a picture of deity of Krishna, and bowing down and praying before him to accept such humble offering, enable one to advance steadily in life, to purify the body, to create fine brain tissue, which will lead to clear thinking. Above all, the offering should be made with an attitude of love. Krishna has no need for food since he already possesses everything that be, yet he will accept the offering of one who desires to please him in that way. The important element in preparation is serving in offering is to act with love for Krishna. The impersonalist philosophers who wish to maintain the absolute truth is without senses cannot comprehend this verse of Bhagavad Gita. To them it is either metaphor or proof of the mundane character of Krishna, the speaker of Bhagavad Gita. But in actuality, Krishna, the Supreme Godhead, has senses, and it is as stated, his senses are interchangeable. In other words, one sense can perform the function of the other. This is what it means that Krishna is absolute. Lacking senses, he could hardly be considered full in all opulences. In the 17th chapter, Krishna has explained that he impregnates the living entities into material nature. This is done by his looking upon material nature, and so in this instant, Krishna's hearing the devotee's words of love in offering foodstuff is only identical with his eating and actually tasting. This point should be emphasized. Because he is absolute position, his hearing is wholly identical with his eating and tasting. Only the devotee who accepts Krishna as he describes himself without interpretation can understand that the Supreme Absolute Truth can eat food and enjoy it. So, go back to the verse. Krishna says, if one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, flower, fruit or flower or water, I will accept it. Patram, pushpam, palam, toyam. And here you see the Sanskrit. You see the word bhaktiya mentioned twice. Bhaktiya, prayachati, bhakti, uphartam. So, this verse is very simple, right? Offer to Krishna flower, fruits, and then I eat. Actually, there's very, very deep meaning actually to it, this verse. The first thing is, the Lord is not in need of any fruits. Everything belongs to Him. Bhoktaram Yakit Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He's the Lord of the entire universe. Everything belongs to Him, right? So why He's asking us for some fruits? You know, some flower, some water. Huh? Why? Basically, like before we go there, we'll see one verse here. See, you must understand the position of the Lord. That Srimad Bhagavatam. Is it not 118? So in this verse 118:20 of Srimad Bhagavatam, it says here that it is now ascertained that He, the personality Godhead, is unlimited and there is none equal to Him. Consequently, no one can speak of Him adequately. Great demigods cannot obtain the favor of goddess of fortune, even by prayers. But this very goddess renders service unto the Lord, although He is unwilling to have such service. So what does this mean? So you see that the Lord, He's served by Mahalakshmi, right? Everybody is praying to Lakshmi for wealth. You know. But she, and not only we are praying, even the Devatas in the heavenly planet, there are 300 and there's 33 million demigods, right? They are also worshipping Lakshmi to get something in benefit, material benefit. But this very Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, she is, you see, she renders service unto the Lord, although He is unwilling. He doesn't even need Lakshmi's seva. We all need Lakshmi, but He doesn't need. Lakshmi Sahasrasata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Vajami. Millions and trillions of Lakshmis are serving him. But he is not. He is fully satisfied. He is not in need of any. So basically, he doesn't need this Patram Pushpam Balam Toyam. He don't need this. If you see another verse, no, this one, 3, 4. कर्मण्य अन्यस्य भवो भवस्य ते दुर्गस्य तारि भयत् आलायनं कालात्मनो यत् प्रमदा युतश्रमा स्वात्मा रते खिद्यति धीर्विधम्यः. So what is the meaning of this verse? The Lord, my Lord, even the learned sages become disturbed in their intelligence when they see that your greatness engages in fruitive work, although you are free from all desires. That you take birth, although you are unborn. That you flee out of fear of your enemy and take shelter of the fort, although you are the control of invincible time. And that you enjoy householder life surrounded by many women, although you enjoy in yourself. So there's many nice points here. That the first point is, many people are bewildered. Krishna is God himself, no? But how come he's coming and acting as a human being? He's doing same thing like us, right? But he's not an ordinary human being. Just like now, the president is also a person, right? Like us. Modi, right? President. But are we same like him? Do we have the position like him? No. So, even though the king, there was one, the king, he's sitting on the throne. The bed bug is also sitting on the king's throne. But the bed bug is not same as the king, The king is sitting in the Vyasasan, right? There's a mosquito there, but the mosquito is not king. So that's why when the Lord, even though he acts in different ways, in different activities, even the greatest jnanis also cannot understand. But only a devotee can. Bhakta only can understand why the Lord is acting like that. So anyway, it says that they are bewildered. Even though you are free from all desires, you take birth, although you are unborn. You are aja, Ajopi san, amyayadma, bhutanam, ishvaropi san. You do not take birth. But you show like you are taking birth, Correct? Can you ask later? We finish the class. So you see, the Lord, He's not like we take birth, right? Everybody has a father and mother. We take birth. But the Lord, even though He takes birth from the womb of Devaki, He's unborn. He chose His parents. We cannot choose. We are born according to our karma. What's that? 3 with 31. Karmana deva netrena. By our karma only we are taking birth. Sometimes we are taking birth as a cockroach. Sometimes we are taking birth as a dog. Sometimes a human being. So this is according to karma, but Krishna doesn't come by karma. And then you see here, Durgasya tari bhayat palayanam. That the Lord, if you see, the translation says that you flee out of fear of the enemy and take shelter of the fort, although you are controller of invincible time. Kalatmanayom. Krishna is the controller of time. Nobody, they say right, time will wait for no one. You waste today, even 1 hour you waste, finish, you'll never get it back. Money you can earn somehow, but you cannot go back and get the time. And by time, the sun is rising and setting, our life is just getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So who is controlling this time? That is Krishna. Krishna is controlling this time. So everybody is fearing death, right? Everybody is scared of dying, right? Because we know that as every birthday that comes, we are celebrating happy birthday, everybody. But every birthday is getting us closer to our death actually. Time is bringing us closer and closer. So this time is controlled by who? Krishna himself, the Lord. God is controlling this time. But then if you see in the Leela of Krishna was fighting who? Jarasandha, right? Krishna was running. He created Dwaraka. Why he created Dwaraka? Many of you all are from Dwaraka, right? Gujarat. So why Krishna created the Dwaraka? Because he was running away from Jarasandha. Everybody is afraid of Krishna in time. But how come he is showing a fear to Jarasandha? So this is his pastimes. This is his Leela. You see? And the final point that you enjoy householder life surrounded by many women, although you enjoy in yourself. So he enjoys in himself. He's Atmarama. He doesn't need so many. He had 16,108 wives, the queens of Dwaraka. Right? So he doesn't need them, but they actually want to serve him. We see in these devotees, they want to reciprocate. They want Krishna as their husband. So the Lord is so kind and merciful. He said, "Okay, I will be your husband." They were pure devotees of the Lord. If you want Krishna as your father, he'll accept the position. Okay, you be my father. So why Devaki and Vasudev, Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, pure devotees, bhakti. They had so much of bhakti. So Krishna said, they wanted to have Krishna as the son. Krishna said, "Okay, I will come as your son." See? So again, back to the verse, like Krishna, what we have seen now, that he doesn't need all these things from us. See, he doesn't need any of this, but he's fully satisfied. But still he's asking for that bhakti. Why? Because you see, we are all part, you must understand this, we are all part and parcel of Krishna. We all are his eternal servants. You see? And somehow or other, we are trapped in this material world. We are covered by avidya, agyana. Jnana and agyana, right? Ignorance. We have forgotten Krishna. And because we have forgotten Krishna, we are in Maya. And because we are in Maya, we are suffering all this, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, birth and death, old age, disease. So only way to come out of this again. So Krishna is coming to help us. He said, "Come back to me." Like now, very simple example. Everybody has a father, right? Your father wants to see that you are always very nice, well positioned, good in life. But sometimes you fight with your father. He said, "I don't want my father anymore." You leave him. You go to the streets, you become a drug. Like you see some celebrities, right? Very rich, like Jackie Chan, But his son, I think he took drugs, right? He did some criminal activities, went to jail and all these things. So the father is very sad. Why my son do this? Why my son become a criminal, went to the jail? So the father is always trying his best to help the son to come back to the home, right? The same way, we being separated from Krishna is trying every time, every lifetime. He's sitting in our heart, as Paramatma. He's always following us. Who can be more kinder than Krishna, you tell me? Right, like Tathit Guru gave a very nice few classes he gave about this example. Like now, let's say you have a partner. You have a love, they say soulmate, You have a lover. Let's say you get married. You're married for, let's say 15, 20 years you're married. One day you find out that your partner that you love so much had an affair with another man. How you feel? How disappointed you feel, You love this person so much, but they cheated on you. You're broken, right? And to forgive them is, how difficult is it to forgive them? Most likely you'll end up in divorce, Right? You see? At the same time, we are doing the same thing to the Lord. The Lord is our partner, our soulmate. And every lifetime we are disappointing Him by cheating on Him. You're cheating on Him and going towards Maya. You see? So this is how you can imagine. If you're angry with your partner to cheat on you, right? And you cannot forgive her also, right? How much the Lord must feel angry. But He's not angry. He's so kind. He's following you every life. If you're a dog also, He's following you. If you're a cat also, He follows you. If you're a Devata also, He follows you. He's following you every time, thinking when you will come back to Him, when this person will come back to me. And little bit bhakti you have for Him. Just a little bit. You see, to offer, you give little bit. He never asks anything. What is this? He's asking only patram pushpam palam toyam. Just a leaf, water, flower. Even little bit also he remembers. If somebody gives us something, very easily, we can forget also, right? Somebody help us. Our parents help us so much. Sometimes we also don't care. Who cares, the old man? We have no gratefulness. But Krishna, small bhakti you have also, he is so grateful to you. Right? You see, so like an example, you see, our gratitude, we are grateful for someone to help us, right? And if somebody help us, we are grateful, right? But okay, let's say now I am thirsty. I feel very thirsty. Somebody comes and give me water. I'm happy. Oh, thank you. You quenched my thirst, right? But if the water is very little, I am still not satisfied. Or let's say I drank the water, right? I drank finish, and then somebody come and give me another cup of water. I no one, no thanks. It's okay. I have no gratefulness. You know. So even like you see, a small thing like that. We are very calculative on our gratefulness. Somebody help us a lot, we serve them more. Somebody help little, we lesser gratitude, and we will forget also. But Krishna never forgets. Even in this life, you chant just one time Hare Krishna mantra, he'll never forget. One time you offer to him prasadam. One time you sweep the floor of the temple, you do some little bit service also. He never forgets. Every lifetime he remembers this. He think, oh, he's so grateful to you, Oh, this devotee has done so much. We only see the bad things in someone. Like you see Putana, right? Putana came to kill Krishna, right? Yeah. Anybody comes to kill you, will you give them a medal? Huh? How much you will fight, right? To survive. Putana came to kill Krishna, but he killed her and he gave her position of mother in the Goloka. Not only that, you see. See this verse. 10, 14, 35. My mind becomes bewildered just to think of what reward other than you could be found anywhere. You are the embodiment of all benedictions, which you bestow upon these residents of the cowherd community of Vrindavan. You have already arranged to give yourself to Putana, see, and her family members in exchange for her disguising herself as a devotee. Putana did not approach Krishna with bhakti at all, no, right? She came as a murderer, killer of the child. Because she came to give Krishna as the milk, Krishna took it. Oh, is she coming as my mother? Never mind. I take the bhakti. Pretended, she did not give also. She pretended to give milk, but poison. Who will do this? Who has such great qualities? This is God. God is not so. How much compassion? Can we have that compassion? Do we have that kind of mercy? And not only he saved Putana, even her family members, Putana family members, they are all demons also, They also get liberation, mukti. So God is so, when you say love, I love you, you don't know what is love. This is love, to even love somebody who's a killer who's a demonic person, that is God. And if we put little bit bhakti, investment, they say investment, right? Oh, invest in this stock, invest in this crypto, you will get returns. Nothing will come return. But if you invest in Krishna bhakti, you see the return. Even if you invest wrongly, you see another example, Ajamila, right? Ajamila, he's a Brahmana, and he was very good boy, But one day he fell down to a prostitute. He was having a nice family, everything. He married a prostitute. He kicked out his wife. And then he became very bad. He started to do all the bad things, gambling, smoking, killing people. Because he needed to maintain his wife and family. He had so many children with the prostitute. So he had to murder people. He had to steal people from money. He had to do gambling. All the sinful activities he did. And then finally had a son. At around 80 years old, he had a son called Narayana. Right? And this boy was just 5 years old. And he was very attached to the son. Every time he will call the boy, Narayana, Narayana, come. So one day he was going to die. And when he was going to die, the Yamadutas came, Yamaraj, the servants of Yamaraj came to take his soul. And then in that moment of so much of fear, he was very attached to his son. He was calling the name Narayana. Not even calling Krishna. Not even calling Narayana. Calling his son. But Krishna was so kind. Oh, he's calling me. I must help him. So Narayana's servants, Vishnu Dutas, the Narayana Sevakas, they came, and then they stopped the Yamadutas. You don't take him, he chanted the name of the Lord, and they gave him another chance. See? So even though he did so many nonsense, but he got the chance because of the Lord's unlimited mercy. This is, you cannot count. Just like the ocean, right? It's an ocean of mercy. You cannot count His mercifulness. Even though how much you disregard Him, He's always wanting to save you. See? So your life will be successful when you surrender, when you engage in bhakti again, when you come back to Krishna again in bhakti. You see? So like example of the same thing, Ajamila, he did not call the name of God also. He called the name of his son, Krishna accepted. What about if you call the name of God sincerely? Daily you sit down and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Sincerely you do how? What is the result, right? So this is what Krishna wants. That you do it sincerely, and he'll forget all these things, all the so many lifetimes of so many nonsense we did. So many things we did. Cannot even imagine what we did. Look at the world, how much of atrocities are happening. There's so many killings, so many rapes and murders. You think you never did this? One of the life you might have done this. You also might have raped somebody, you might have murdered someone. All these, so many sinful activities we have done. But the Lord is willing to forgive all this at once. When you give up all this sinful activity and you connect to Him, you chant His name, you become a devotee. How to become a devotee? You chant this Hare Krishna mantra. The first step you take. So anyway, now we're going back to the verse. So we already understood that the position that when we engage in bhakti, and very simple, anybody can do this. Krishna never asked for these big things. See, anybody, in the road also anybody, even if you have no money also you can serve the Lord. Just offering some water, water is there, right? Offer the water. So if you look at the examples in history, many devotees attain perfection by offering these four things. Like now, a leaf. What leaf? Not a normal leaf, tulasi. So you have to offer the Lord what He likes. So God is not impersonal. You must understand this. Impersonal, there's an aspect of God, it's called a Brahman. That is His light. But God Himself is a person. If you are a person, how come He is not a person? He also is a person. What you see in yourself is also in Him, but it is pure. It is in perfection. Here we are contaminated. You see, so He likes the tulasi. He loves the tulasi plant. So when you offer the tulasi, He becomes very pleased. So we look at the story of, you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Over there, Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda. Panchatatvas, 5 of them. So one of the Panchatattva is Sri Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya is is an incarnation of Lord Shiva and Mahavishnu. So before, this is 500 years ago, before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, the entire Bengal was full of atheists, full of ritualistic. People are not interested in bhakti. They were doing all ritualistic stuff, very much interested in only, money, materialistic life. So Advaita Acharya was very compassionate. He was saying, who can help these people? Only Krishna can help. So he prayed to the Lord, you please, my Lord, you come and help. How he brought the Lord down? He offered this tulasi. Tulasi, what is that? What is the verse? Jalasya tulasi dala matrena. What is the verse? Tulasi. Yeah. Tulasi dala matrena. Jalasya chulukenava. Vikrinite swayam atmanam. Bhaktebhyo bhaktavatsala. Sri Krishna, who is very affectionate towards his devotee, sells himself to a devotee, offers merely a tulasi leaf in a palm full of water. So leaf and water, that's all. Advaita Acharya, but he was a pure devotee, you see. I'm not pure enough. If I say, I take the water and please Krishna, you come, he's not going to come. You have full surrender, he will come. So Advaita Acharya, is Mahavishnu and Shiva avatar together, right? So like that Advaita Acharya just offer this, with this mantra, Tulasi dhala matrena. Jalasya chuluke nama. And the Lord descended as Lord Chaitanya to help all of us. You see? Very simple, right? Another example. So we have okay, the leaf, flower. Flower is Gajendra. We'll cover later. Fruits. In Dwaraka, not Dwaraka. When Krishna was coming to Mathura, right? After Krishna was staying in Vrindavan, then he had to come to Mathura to kill Kamsa. Akrura brought him back, right? So there was while walking in the marketplace, there was a fruit seller, right? No, actually no. That is when he was a kid. Sorry, wrong. When he was a small child, one day, Krishna was going with his father for shopping, in the market. So father was buying many things. So those days they used to do barter trading. There's no money. I give you something, you give back. Yeah. Rice, yeah. He bartered. Yeah, correct. So the lady was carrying fruits in the basket. And Krishna was seeing his father also, doing this trading. He also wanted to get some fruits. So immediately he went and took some rice. He was a very small child, small hands. So he took the rice. And he couldn't hold all the rice. The rice was dropping. By the time he reached the lady, there was hardly any rice there. And he's crying. He said, I wanted this fruit, but I have not enough. And then this lady was so compassionate and kind, looking at Krishna. Such a cute boy, so beautiful child. Whatever it is, I will satisfy you. Even if you don't give me rice also, the rice also never mind, I will give you the fruits. So she decided, she had bhakti, I will satisfy you. Whether I get anything in return or not. We are not like that. We want to do some deals. You give me this, I'll give you this. So she was not like that. She said, no, never mind, you don't need to give me the rice. I will, I will satisfy you. And then she gave the fruits. And immediately when she saw the basket, the fruits all became gold. Gold coins. So the Lord immediately reciprocated by giving her some wealth. The devotee is not even interested in the wealth. Like Sudama, he was not interested. Krishna gave him the palace also, he was not interested. Because that bhakti itself satisfies you. Right? So that is the story of the fruit seller. And then we saw the example of Advaita Acharya. He offered the leaf and the water. Yeah? And now we will see the example of flower. Who offered this flower? Lotus flower. Gajendra. Gajendra, the elephant. So it's a very nice story. So which we can take a lot of instructions from. Gajendra, he was actually a king in his previous life. His name is Indradyumna. He's a king from South India. I think we call it Dravida Desh in the time, Tamil Nadu, I think. So he was a pure devotee of the Lord, and he was doing so much of meditation and all. So one day he was meditating on the Lord, meditating on Krishna. So what happened was, there's a rishi who came. What is the rishi name? Agastya. I think Agastya Muni came. So then what happened? He did not pay attention to the rishi. The rishi was, was not respected, but he was deep in trance, right? So the rishi cursed him, said, you don't know how to respect the rishi, so you better born as an animal in your next life, So like that he was cursed. So even though he was a king, he was a great devotee, he was doing bhakti yoga, he was doing a lot of, the next life he became an elephant. So he was born in this heavenly planet. There are many, now we are in earth only, there's so many lokas, different lokas, So this loka, there's a mountain, Trikuta mountain. There's three Trikuta, three peaks. One is gold, one is silver, one is iron. So below this mountain, there is a very beautiful garden, Ritumat garden, very beautiful garden. This garden belongs to Varuna. And all these heavenly, these apsaras, these devatas, they all come there to enjoy. Very beautiful. And it is not normal water, it's it's a milk. There's milk water. So we only know there's salt water, right? But in different universes, in different planets, They have different kind of water. They have sugar water, there is oil, there is milk, you know. Of course, normal people, they won't understand, they won't believe this, but it's there. These Marvel, they are making so many movies, different dimension, multiverse. Where they get this idea from? It's the Bhagavatam already has it. Anything you can imagine, it's already there in Shastra. Unless you experience it, how can you imagine this, right? We have taken birth also there. So many times we have gone here, we have gone this place, then place, So anyway, very beautiful place. So he took birth as an elephant, and his name was Gajendra, Gaja Indra. He's the king of elephants. Gigantic. He was so huge, so powerful. And if you read in the 8th canto, this is in the 8th 2 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. There are more descriptions of the place, beautiful place. So even the lions there, they are roaring very loudly, but they are roaring out of enviousness. This lion is envy of another lion. There's competition. So this is the quality of the material world. Even though the place, all the devatas, they come there to enjoy. See, they come there to have sex life. So this is material world, which is spiritual world is not like that. In the material world, if we go to something beautiful place, we are thinking, let me enjoy it for myself, right? Oh, this is so nice. I want to enjoy my senses. But in the Vaikuntha, it's not like that. It is more beautiful, but the people there, they are not trying to enjoy their senses. They always serve the senses of the Lord. If you see the description of Vaikuntha planets in the 3rd canto, it is said that in Vaikuntha, there are so many plants, so many beautiful flowers, so many flowers. But all these plants, when they see the tulasi, they want the tulasi to serve the Lord. Tulasi is just a green color plant, not so beautiful. But they know the Lord you see, even the flower is a person in the spiritual world. Everything is a person. It's not impersonal. Even a flower is a person, So the flowers, they all are so beautiful, but they see that tulasi is there. Oh, tulasi, you serve the Lord. There is no jealousy. Whereas in the material world, there is jealousy. I must be better than someone. Somebody cannot be better than me, right? So even then, there's a description of the bumblebees in the spiritual world, in the Vaikuntha. You see that there are so many birds are there. They are singing very nicely, The birds, they have so nice voice, the cuckoo bird and the nightingale. I don't know the names. So many beautiful voices are there. But when the bee comes, the bumblebee comes. The bumblebee is just making some buzzing sound, right? But the bumblebee is glorifying Vishnu. And because he's glorifying Vishnu, all the other birds keep quiet. Oh, he's glorifying the Lord, let him. So there is no competition. So who's serving the Lord better? Oh, you serve better. Okay, you serve. Whereas in the material world, there is all this competition. Even there is the description there is written there. Like the lions, they are envious of each other. I am better than you, you are better than me. Even in heavenly planet is there. And like we just covered that, even the devatas, they are enjoying sense gratification. They are enjoying their senses. They are not there to serve the Lord, you see. So even the devatas, even though they are so great, they are also conditioned in this material world because they have desire to enjoy the senses. A pure devotee has no desire like that. Yeah. So anyway, this Gajendra is there. He has a big family, a lot of wives, So as you know, elephant, right? Elephant you can actually, Prabhupada has given an example also there in the 11th canto, how each of our senses are connected to a different animal. What I mean is, see, we have these 5 senses, right? The mind is the 6th one. 10 senses actually, but basically 5. And by these 5 senses, we are trapped in this material world. Maya controls us. How? You see? So now example, the eyes, right? The eyes see. So if you see the firefly, the firefly, right? Fire is there. Fire is burning. The firefly, he's attracted to the light, and he see the fire, he run towards the light, he gets burned. Right? You have seen? So like that, we are also seeing. And when we see the Maya, we fall down by the eyes, by seeing. And then there is another animal, by hearing it falls down. What animal is that? Is the deer. You see? You know how the hunter will catch the deer? The deer likes music. So the hunter will play very nice music. The deer will come, one shot. Because he wanted to enjoy his ears, he falls down. And then the tongue. the bee, right? The bee wants to enjoy the honey, so he goes to every plant. And sometimes he go into the wrong flower. Evening time, the flower will just close, and he dies because he cannot control his. Sorry, it's the bee smell, not tongue. Yeah, fish is tongue. You see, the fish. There's so many fish in the ocean you can eat, right? But some fisherman is putting some bait, and he'll come and bite this one, and he'll get caught. And finally, the genitals, the elephant, sex life. We are trapped by sex life. The elephant is the example for that. How? Because the elephant, he is very much fond of sex life. So how the hunter will catch him, they will bring a female elephant, train elephant, and then they'll put in the jungle, and they'll dig a big hole. And then this elephant will see the female, he'll run towards the female, and he'll fall inside the hole and get caught. So like that, every senses falls to a different way. So each animal has a different power, right? The elephant is powerful in sex life. The fish is very powerful in the tongue. The firefly by the eyes, the bee by the nose, deer by the ear. But a human being, all five very powerful. So Maya can catch us very easily. Very easily. And all these five is sitting in your smartphone. That's it. Open your phone. Every facility is there. Okay, I want to enjoy this. I want to enjoy that. I want to enjoy. Very easy now in Kali Yuga. You see? So Maya can trap us so easily, our senses. So like that, Gajendra, he was entrapped in this family affection, family life. Deha Patra Kalatra Trishu. We'll see this verse here. Atma Sanyeshu Ashanapi Tesham Brahmata Nidanam Pashanapi na Pashyati. See? So what happens? Person devoid of Atma Tattva do not inquire into the problems of life. Being too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body, children and wife, although sufficiently experienced, they do not see their inevitable destruction. So like that, he was very attached to his fallible soldiers. These are all, we are also like that, like Gajendra. We are attached to our family. We think this family is permanent, Right? One day death will come and take the current wife we have, what was not the same wife in the previous life, or not the same husband in the previous. But we are so attached to this temporary position. We will not see the same person again. The same parents we won't see with again. Like that we are going, but we are so much attached like that. And our whole purpose of life comes to just serving this. We are building a fort. Like we are building a sandcastle basically. So nice sandcastle, and one time the ocean comes and just wipes out, finish. So we're not saying that don't take care of your family and all, but you must you cannot be devoid of Atma Tattva. Yeah, you have family, you have responsibilities, but you cannot be devoid of Atma Tattva. You have to inquire, who am I? What is the purpose of my life? Why am I struggling in this material world? How to come out of this? You must engage your family also to come out of this material world. Not just working day and night to maintain the body. Now what about the soul? You are the soul, right? You have forgotten the soul. And that's why you are suffering. So like that, Gajendra was so much engaged in this family affairs. He was very proud of his power. He was very strong. Anytime he walks anywhere, everybody runs away because he's so big, so powerful. But he is a good elephant, so he doesn't go around killing the other animals. They are very, they respect him, and he has this pride. I'm very powerful, He knows that I'm so great, I'm so strong. So then what happens as the chapter goes on, he goes into that water, that river, to bathe, and then he goes into the river, and then we'll see that verse. I think 8 to 26. Like a human being who lacks spiritual knowledge and is too attached to members of the family, the elephant, being illusioned by the external energy of Krishna, had his wife, children, bathe and drink the water. Indeed, he raised the water from the lake with his trunk and sprayed over them. He did not mind the hard labor involved in this endeavor. So, like all of us, we work so hard to maintain that family, right? Same thing Gajendra was doing. Day and night working for them. He did not feel the burden of carrying this kuduma bharanerawa. Actually, this Gajendra is you can take it as us also. That's what we are doing. So anyway, one day what happens? He's so strong and powerful. He thought nobody can challenge him. But one day, this crocodile, a big crocodile, comes and just grabs his. While he was in that river, he was engaging in that activity of doing this water bath. The crocodile came and grabbed him and started pulling him inside. And then he was fighting back. He used his energy to fight. He was struggling, and all his wives, they all became very sorry. Oh, what happened to my husband? But they cannot help him. They were not able to help him. They all lamenting. So he at first was very confident. I can overcome this problem. Same like us. This crocodile actually is that Maya, that problem. What is that problem? Maya comes in three ways: Adi Atmik, Adi Devik, Adi Bautik. Adi Atmik, problems caused by our mind. Adi Bautik, problem caused by others. Adi Devik, problems caused by the Devatas, natural disasters and all this. Three kinds of problems always disrupts the material life. So like that, so Gajendra's problem was the crocodile. We also have some crocodile in our life. Everybody has a different crocodile. Like recently we had a big crocodile coming, COVID. But somehow we past 2 years, then we are confident, it is finished. Another crocodile will come. This material world is a place of dukkhalim ashashrutam, place of misery. So like that, problems after problems keep coming. So like that, he thought at first, I can somehow overcome this. But he couldn't. He was struggling. Say, no, tomorrow, like we also, right? Sometimes we have problem, tomorrow will be okay. Sometimes we realize the problem is still there. It's not going. We see this verse here. That's why Prahlad Maharaj says, Balasya neha saranam pitaro narshimma nartasya chagadam utpati manchado napno taptasya tat prithivithirya ihan jatheta sahas tavat vibhotanukritam tavat upekshitam. So this is spoken by Prahlad Maharaj. He's saying that my Lord Narasimhadev was supreme because of bodily conception of life, embodied souls neglected and not cared for by you. Cannot do anything for their betterment. Whatever remedies they accept, although perhaps temporarily beneficial, are certainly impermanent. For example, a father and mother cannot protect the child. A physician, a medicine cannot relieve a suffering patient. The boat on the ocean cannot protect the drowning man. Nobody can protect actually. We have to come to this realization that, we'll try our best to do this. But we must come to a realization, bhakti means like only Krishna can protect. Just like Draupadi, you see. She was being disturbed in the Kaurava assembly, right? And then she tried herself to protect. She was holding. Nobody could protect her. Pandavas couldn't protect her. Bhishma Dev couldn't protect her. Dronacharya couldn't protect her. All great, such great people, right? She tried to protect herself. She also cannot protect herself. Finally, she let go her hands and said, Govinda. And who came? The Lord came. So she surrendered. Right? So when you understand that there is no other protection, Prabhupada was asked this question, what does it mean to we have faith in Krishna? Prabhupada said that when you have full faith means you have understanding that there is nobody else can protect me but the Lord. That is surrender. You see? So like Draupadi, so now we are in the same situation. So we are like Gajendra, we are struggling. So the crocodile was pulling him into the water. You see, Gajendra was very powerful. If you go to let me see that verse. Very important point Prabhupada makes, for devotees especially. 8.2.30. You see this here, this verse that Prabhupada says here. Thereafter, because of being pulled in the water and fighting for many long years, the elephant became diminished, his mental, physical and sensual strength. So he was very strong, right? But still, his power was reducing day by day. The crocodile, on the contrary, being an animal of water, increased in enthusiasm, physical strength and sensual power. So because the crocodile had a home ground advantage, Gajendra could not escape. Right now, whose home are we now? Our home is Vaikuntha. Where are we now? We are in Maya's kingdom. How you will fight Maya? Can you fight Maya? You cannot. The Maya has home ground. No matter how powerful you are, also you will be finished. Great conquerors, Alexandra, Genghis Khan, Genghis Khan. So many conquerors, finish like that. So like that. So Prabhupada, you see in the Prabhupada, he writes that in the fighting between the elephant and the crocodile, the difference was that although the elephant was extremely powerful, he was in the foreign place water. During 1000 years of fighting, he could not get any food under the circumstances. His bodily strength diminished, and because his bodily strength diminished, his mind also became weak, senses less powerful. The crocodile, however, being an animal of water, had no difficulties. He was getting food and therefore mental strength and sensual encouragement. So this thing was going on for 1000 years actually, such a long period of time. Thus, while the elephant became reduced in strength, the crocodile became more and more powerful. Now, from this, we can take lesson that in our fight with Maya, we should not be in a position in which our strength and enthusiasm and senses will be unable to fight aggressively. Our Krishna conscious movement has actually declared a war on illusory energy, in which all living entities are rotting in the false understanding of civilization. The soldiers in Krishna conscious movement always possess physical strength, enthusiasm, sensual power. To keep themselves fit, they must therefore place themselves in normal condition of life. So what Prabhupada means is, we are fighting this Maya. You have to come to the temple. You have to associate with devotees. You cannot fight alone at home. That's why we need temple. Yeah, everybody say God everywhere in my heart. But how are you going to fight that Maya? Krishna also had in the heart of the mosquitoes, right? But then if let's say even though the Maya has home ground advantage, but you always keep yourself with devotees. You always keep your association, sadhu sangha. You can have the more strength. You have more strength, more power to fight that. So this is what point that Prabhupada makes. How important the association of devotee. How important to come to temple is. Right? Engaging in Vaishnava Seva, service of the deities. So anyway, the fight goes on and on and on. And same time, the demigods, all the devatas, they also came. They saw, oh, what is this? These two people are fighting. This is, happening. But the demigods did not offer any help as well. So, Gajendra, in the end, finally he understood that he has no other way. 1000 years has passed. He's losing whatever he did also nothing happened. He thought, I must surrender now. Because he was in past life, he was a devotee, So Krishna gave him the remembrance in the heart that, you surrender unto me, I will help you. So you see, that's why Prabhupada you see this verse. Devi Dhyasa Kunamahi Maya Duratya Mame Yatrapanjanti Maya Mekantarantite. The divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome. Very difficult. Maya is so difficult. We are controlled by these three modes, But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross. Very easy. See now, we see the ocean, right? Elephant is a huge animal, right? Very powerful. But you throw him in the ocean, right? What will happen? He'll struggle and he'll sink, But the fish very easily will swim in the water. Why? Because he's a land. Ocean is belong to him anyway. He's an animal of the ocean, but he surrendered to the ocean. And no matter how that current and tides and all, he will flow nicely. You see? So instead of struggling against Maya, you just surrender to Krishna. You will very easily cross. You'll cross it very easily. So at this point of time, Gajendra had a realization that I have to surrender. We'll show you that verse 8 to. Next verse 31, 32. So here he surrenders, you see. He said, the other elephants who are my friend, he has a realization. Jai Shri Shri Radha. So Gajendra has a realization. The other elephants who are my friend's relative could not rescue me from this danger. What then to speak of my wives? They cannot do anything. It is by the will of providence that I have been attacked by this crocodile. And therefore I shall seek shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always the shelter of everyone, even great personalities. So he has this realization that nobody can save you. And this realization came because, we will see in the next verse. In one of the Prabhupada writes that because he had done little bit bhakti in his past life, he did not complete, but he did some bhakti. There are 4 kinds of people who surrender unto the Lord. Chaturvidha bhajante mam sukritino Arjuna. So he was a pious soul. Because of his piety, the Lord actually helped him to remember this. So what you can learn here, as much as you develop your Krishna consciousness credits and piety, Krishna will give you the remembrance of him to help yourself at the time of difficulty and especially death, at the time of death. Right? What saves us at the time of death is remembrance of Krishna only, the holy name. But if you don't practice now, how the remembrance came? Like now, Gajendra did not get this remembrance out of nowhere because he had practice. Unless you practice for the exam, how you will succeed in the exam, right? So we have to learn this point here, that very important. We have to keep accumulating this daily by hearing, chanting, reading. Keep hearing and chanting, reading. You are collecting this punya, and the time of death comes, Krishna will give you that memory, how to remember, how to come out of this. That's why you see, very nice verse, Kunti Devi, she says, you know what she says? Is it 1825? Kunti Devi says this verse that Vipada Santuta Sasva Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavato Darshanam Yatsyat Apunarbhava Darshanam. She says that I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated birth and death. What she's saying that, what is these calamities? So the Pandavas, they went through so many difficulties, right? The previous verse, Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshana Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Kritsate. Pandavas went through so many difficulties with the Kauravas, right? They were trapped in this house of fire. Vishan, poison cake was given to Bhima. Vishan Mahagne, big fire. They tried to burn the house of leg. Purusha Ada Darshana. In the what do you call that? The cannibals were trying to attack the Pandavas. Asat Sabhaya, in the assembly of Kurus, Draupadi was insulted, their kingdom was taken away, they were sent to the forest. So many difficulties they went through, right? And finally, at the end of the war, everything, they succeeded. They came out of all these problems. But what this Kunti Devi is saying, same thing, please give to me. We got poison cake, give the poison cake again. Same fire you give me, let my daughter-in-law get insulted again. Let us go to the junk forest again. And then, what is that? What is that? In the battlefield, Arjuna was so many arrows were shot against him. Let that happen again. Who will ask this? Why she asked like that? Because she says that when these problems are happening, you are there with us. But when now problem is finished, you are going. Oh, better let the problems happen again and again. Because forgetting you is the real problem. If there is a problem, then that problem helps me remember Krishna. Let that problem happen again and again. But if there is no problem at all and I don't remember Krishna, I don't want that. Can we pray like that? We always pray, Krishna, please let the problem go. No more problem. Then we will forget Krishna. But she knows that, I will forget. She is smart. She said, no, let this happen. Because forgetfulness of you is what causes material birth and death and old age disease. This I don't want. You see? So as devotees, if we have a problem, everybody have a problem, definitely. We always take it as, Krishna is giving me this opportunity to remember him. Think like that. And just Krishna will help. No need to worry. Krishna will help me out of this problem. But we are not in the level of Kunti. If you are in the level of Kunti, you can say after the problem finished, you say, Krishna, please give again another problem. So again. You see? So this is what we can learn from the example of a pure devotee, that forgetfulness is what causes problem. And remembrance of Krishna, it is what solves the problem. And if I can remember Krishna in the time of so much of problems, let that problem happen again and again and again and again. Never mind. You see? That is a devotee. That is a bhakta. And for that bhakta, Krishna will do anything. He will do anything for them. You see? So that's why when Gajendra, eventually he surrendered. You see? He surrendered unto the Lord. And when he surrendered, he offered, we cannot cover it today, so many prayers. You have to read it yourself. The next canto, 8.3, offers so many prayers to the Lord. And then finally, why I quoted the story of Gajendra is because Patram Pushpam, Palam Toyam. Gajendra, he offered a lotus flower to the Lord. And he was the crocodile was biting him, He's struggling like anything. At that same time, when the Lord was coming in Garuda, he took that lotus flower and offered Narayana Akhila Guru, Bhagavan Namaste. We'll go to that verse. What is it? 33, is it? 8.3, 33, yeah. 32, okay. So here is a very nice verse where the Gajendra has been forcefully captured by the crocodile in the water and was feeling acute pain. But when he saw Narayana wielding his dish, was coming on the sky, the back of Garuda, he immediately took the lotus flower in his trunk, and with great difficulty, due to his painful condition, he uttered the following words: O my Lord Narayana, Master of the universe, O Supreme Personality, God, I offer my respectful obeisance. So even in that greatest pain and danger, he still was in bhakti. And the Lord accepted not the lotus flower, but his bhakti. Of course, he accepted lotus, but because he had so much of bhakti, that he chanted so many verses that he remembered from his past life. So very important that we have to learn all these verses as well. Like I said, of course, we have to try our best to come out of this life. Don't waste this chance. But somehow you wasted it. You must do your best possible. Come and associate with devotees. Keep in touch. Chant the Hare Krishna mantra daily. Do service. Read the books. Read the mantras. Memorize the slokas. All this accumulation will be, when the time of death comes, Krishna will help you remember his, like I just visited a devotee yesterday who was not well. So he was telling that, I went to his house to visit him. So he was saying that now he had some sickness, and then he said that now I am not watching anything else, only Krishna conscious things. So that means what? That means at the time of death, nothing else matters, right? Nothing matters. Even I also had the realization. I went to the hospital 3 days, I was admitted once. And that time I was just watching all Prabhupada videos only. I never watched anything else. But once you come out, you start to, maybe I can watch this, I can watch that. When we are living, we are watching so many things or doing so many things which is not actually helping us at the time of death. So a really advanced devotee is one who can understand that all this is not wasting my time. Let me just invest my time in just focusing on the thing that will help me at the time of death. Like you see in this example of the devotee, I have no interest to watch anything else because I know it's not going to help me, right? If now, let's say I am drowning in the sea, the ocean, what is the most greatest thing that I need? Somebody to save me, right, from the sea. If somebody comes with a helicopter, say, you want PlayStation? You want a Lamborghini? I'm drowning. What I will do with the Lamborghini? How it's going to save me? Only thing that will save me is this Krishna Smaranam, this holy name of the Lord. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam, kalo nasteva 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 gatiranyata. So we should try our best. Yes, I'm telling you, I'm also not, I have to push myself. Try your best. See, the mind is going off. Why I need this? You ask yourself, why I need to watch this? What is the gain for me? Ultimately, at the time of death, what is the gain? Right? Like you see in this verse. This Parikshit Maharaj, he's asking this question. Sadheva Deva Bhagavan Pratiksham. He says that My Lord, may my Lord, 119. So this is spoken by Parikshit Maharaj to Sukadev Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days to go, right? Oh, trustworthy Brahmana, I now ask you about my immediate duty. Please, after proper deliberation, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances and specifically for those who are just about to die. We are all of us in this position. We cannot. Anybody can tell when I'm going to die. At least he can tell he's going to die in 7 days. We cannot tell, right? So he's saying, what is the duty for one who's going to die? How I should live my life? What I should do? How I should live my life, and how I should leave this world? What I should do? And the answer, see, Sukadev Goswami says, in the second canto, he's giving answer from the first verse onwards, but these are the main verses. It says that Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smratavyas Chehatyabhyam. So, O descendants of the king of Bharata, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear. Strotavya. First you must hear. You must glorify. And also remember Smaranam, the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul and the controller and the savior of all miseries. So you see, this is the duty of all of us. This thing, Srotavya Kirtitavascha. That's one you have to remember as well. And of course, the next verse, there's the famous verse, Ante Narayana Smriti, Janma Lava Parapumsa. He says, the next verse is here. The highest perfection of human life achieved by either by complete knowledge of matter and spirit, by practice of mystic power, or by perfect discharge of occupational duty, is to remember the personality of God at the time of death. So this is the most important thing. So what we all have to do, try to prioritize our life. This thing always is being inputted. Keep inputting this into us. We have to create this habit now, because that is what is going to save you. That's like Gajendra. It saved him even in the next life. Even as an animal also he could remember. Even as an animal also he could come out of this Maya. Right? And of course, he offered the lotus flower as a Patram Bhushman Palan. Because of Bhakti, and he was delivered. Lord Narayana came, he severed the head of the crocodile. Of course, the crocodile also got liberated because Narayana killed him. Right? And then Gajendra also got liberated like that. So this is the points of today's class. So I think that's I'll stop here. Anything else? Or any questions, points or comments? So this is, how to say, very seriously we have to do. Like even now I am telling you all this. So just I have to remind myself. Anytime we are preaching, we have to reminding ourselves only. That's why the shortcut is, what? Shortcut is preaching. Because when you preach, you will think, hey, I'm telling this guy to do this. Am I doing? I'm telling him to chant 16 rounds. I'm also not chanting. Better I chant also. So preaching helps you. There's two kinds of devotee. Just practicing. I'm practicing my rounds. I'm reading. But if you preach, you have more strength to remember the Lord. Because now you have to recollect all these things, right? If you're going to preach to someone, you have to recollect, what is that verse? What the Lord said, right? So, the next level, just come to chanting, there's one point. Next level, must come to point of preaching as well. And then be associated with devotees, and together we can come out of this place, the material world, No question, right? Okay, so we will end here. So we have a festival, what do you call it? The disappearance day of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, 29th of June. What day is that? Wednesday. And then we have a Radha Yatra on the July 3rd in the car park. So we request all devotees to come and participate in the Radha Yatra and engage in service. Bring more people to the temple. Just like now you are benefited by hearing this. Let more people come and hear this. Let more people get connected to Krishna. And Krishna is very pleased, like he said in the 18th chapter, right? He's very happy when the devotees bring others to understand this. So okay, we'll finish here. Jai Gurundara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. So I forgot to say, please go and read the chapter of Gajendra, especially his prayers. We have not covered it today. I just told the story only. There's so many verses of his prayers. Please read that. 8th canto.